with excessively famous parents, and I'm sure some spotlight, even when you're a little kid, you're sort of used to people intruding into your space, or at least I've seen it all your life in another form, perhaps.
I've seen it all my life, but it's not something, that I've tried to stay away from the spotlight as much as possible. For a long time, in fact, I think I decided that was not what I wanted to do at all, despite being born there, and I, that was not my choice. But getting married to a movie star was my choice, and I knew that I was going to be in the spotlight then. But it's not something that I'm very comfortable with. I prefer, sitting behind my desk. That's my life. But when I'm pushed out there, I do have the abilities, and I've developed them over the years to deal with things like that.
Like, one of the things that you mentioned is how a challenge in your life was to be normal.
Yes.
What does that mean? What's normal?
Two things. One, I can't ever say that I had a normal life. I had a very turbulent life, first of all. I went from, living in this mansion with convertible cars going to school, to shifting to my grandmother's house where my sister and me were sleeping on a mattress, on the floor. And then I was going everywhere in rickshaws, which I actually love. And my friends had nicknamed me Rickshaw Rani for some reason. Till the day I signed my first movie and I got my signing amount, and I paid a down payment for my car, a white Esteem. That was like a big thing. I could have borrowed my mother's car. It's not like, I was compelled to do that, but we were raised in that way, where seeing my mom working as a single woman, she was not only raising me, but she was looking after, 3 siblings and my grandparents. I realized very early that I needed to be financially independent, and I had to stay that way my whole life. I couldn't be dependent on anyone. So I don't know whether that really was, if I have any semblance of a normal life in that way.
I mean, I read a column of yours where you talk about being on a train. It's 1989. It's a beautiful column about the...
Yes, I remember that.
I didn't know that you would be taking trains around that time.
Well, how would I go everywhere?
Well, I would imagine like a
But I just told you I didn't have the convertible. Okay. I had it till I was 10, and then it kind of just, vanished.
Right.
So, but more than that, like I said, it was a work ethic. It was a mindset. It was what I was watching. I went to boarding school, which was the most defining time of my life. I went from being this complacent child who came, last in a class of 37 to kind of never after that not being among the top 3. And it was just that. So my brain didn't change. And this is what I really think about children, we judge them on so many bases.
Right.
And it's circumstances that propel them. It's not just their inherent abilities. So I'm really lucky that, in fact, every misfortune at that point, which I thought was devastating, turned out to be my assets. And that, I think, I'm very grateful for.
Especially, there's a big difference, and I'm sure you've been asked this before, between you and your husband, where, at least politically and socially, both of you seem pretty different in terms of your worldview. Would that be correct to say?
I would say that our political ideologies, social ideologies, our sense of humors are very, very different. And what's, to me, interesting about this relationship is the fact that after the first few years, we gave up trying to change each other. And what we did instead is that we started learning from each other. And luckily, all his strengths are my weaknesses, and my weaknesses are his strengths. So instead of saying that he should be more like me, and why should he be more like me? What am I going to learn if he's like me? I really believe 2 peas in a pod died of inertia. So we are not 2 peas in a pod, and we keep growing because of that, because we rub off each other. And for me, that is the most interesting part of our relationship.
But what about political views? Do you feel you feel the need to sort of influence him, or he feels the need to influence him?
I feel the need to voice my political views, and he feels the need to voice his. But aside from that, he's free as anybody else. I mean, I can't influence you, and I should not influence you. I will definitely tell you what I think. But beyond that, it's up to you. Just because I'm in a relationship with you, a very intimate relationship, you're the father of my children, that still doesn't mean that I need to influence you in any way. I think that's where marriages fail, because you keep trying to change the other person into a clone of you. It's not possible.
But he is kind of protective so far as your opinions are concerned. I mean, he's mentioned this before, but how you show him and he'll tell you, okay, don't go this far, right?
Okay. So you have to see, we have two different brains. My brain is like clothes thrown in a washing machine. It's whirling, chaotic. His thoughts are neatly folded in the closet of his mind. I need his stability to hem me in. He needs me to push him out of his comfort zone. So when he comes and he tells me that, I think you have to be a little careful.
Why do I feel like I'm reading a column of yours? Is this exactly like fully worded? Sorry.
I'm smart. You don't get to meet many people as smart as me, I guess.
We'll get to that. I have a question to that too. Yeah.
So I feel that in that situation, he's trying to protect me from the fact that we'd have people coming and throwing stones.
Right.
At our house or doing something like that. So that's about it. And I appreciate that because really I would sometimes get into a lot of trouble on my own.
But one interesting fact I came across was that you were supposed to be in Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikander. That you would audition for that part, that you would have been Aamir's co-star in that film, and it didn't work out. Can you take us through that story?
So I went there, मैं गया हुआ था उधर and अपना screen test दिया मैंने for Deepak Tijori's role, and they didn't like it, and apparently I was crap, so they removed me.
Really?
Yeah.
Another really fascinating thing I came across, Akshay, and this has to do with your name. Okay, a lot of conversation happened on why you decided to take up the name, but there was a film called Aaj that you worked in, made by Mahesh Bhatt, if I'm not mistaken. You were supposed to be an action person, a stunt person in the film.
Well,
Is that
no,
correct?
I'm just a martial art teacher.
You're a martial arts teacher, and when you actually saw the film, your role was snipped to about 7 seconds. Is that correct?
No, it was always this much of
It was always this shot.
Always, I shot for 7 seconds only.
Right. And then you realize that the hero of that film is called Akshay.
Right.
So you should call yourself Akshay as well.
Yeah.
Is that really the story?
Yeah, that is the story. That is the story. The guy was Kumar Gaurav was the hero. So he was called Akshay, and I don't know why I changed not that my name was bad. I mean, my name is Rajiv, and Rajiv is a very good name.
Yeah.
I don't know, पता नहीं कभी-कभी होता है दिमाग में ऐसे कोई छा जाती है बात, and I just wanted to go and change my name. So I actually went to Bandra East to the court and I changed my name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have a full certificate that I changed my name.
So, and on one particular day, you decided that you're going to have a card, a visiting card,
Yes.
with Akshay Bhatia on it.
Yellow and white color card.
Do you still have that card with you?
Actually, कभी मैंने एक दिन देखा
कहीं पढ़ी होगी, right?
आप कहीं ना कहीं पढ़ा होगा. Yellow and white color, I still remember it. अपना नाम लिख के, एड्रेस लिख के, बाकी तो कुछ और था ही नहीं. Like, just a black belt written there, and that's it.
And your life changed on that day.
Right. So there's a huge story behind it. You want me to say that?
Yeah, of
story?
course.
वैसे तो बता चुका हूँ, एक दो बार बता चुका हूँ, लेकिन I got the first morning I was supposed to get up in the morning and start my workout, and in the evening I was supposed to go to Bangalore at 6 o'clock flight. I had this मतलब ये मुझे क्या कहते हैं एक modeling assignment मिली हुई थी बैंगलोर में, and 5:10 I got a call from the airport. The agency guy called me up, कि where are you? I said मैं तो घर पे हूँ. You know, it's unprofessional people like you that this you'll never succeed in your life. I can guarantee you. ऐसा क्या हुआ? अरे तुमको इधर आना था. ये बात ये हुआ था कि मैं समझा कि शाम की फ्लाइट है, वो एक्चुअली सुबह 6 बजे की फ्लाइट थी. एंड मैं पहुंचा नहीं, तो आई एक्चुअली वर इन टीयर्स. आई वाज टेलिंग हिम कि यार मैं अब भी आता हूँ, मैं भाग के आता हूँ, मोटरसाइकिल पे आता हूँ, छोड़ दूंगा. And so, but unfortunately, they didn't agree because obviously they were also right, and they had to catch a flight, and then they went away. And उसी दिन मेरा कार्ड भी आ गया छप के, and I was very मतलब एकदम low था मैं. So I remember going to Natraj studio, and there I met this Pramod Chakravarti's company's makeup man, and he told me hero बनना है. मैं बोला हाँ बनना है यार. तो लाओ फोटो है. So that time we used to travel with such big photographs.
Like album.
Such big album भी थी. बक्सा खोलो, उसके अंदर इतने बड़ी बड़ी तस्वीरें रखी होती थी. because the producers and directors would not want to see in a small thing. They would like to want to see. Yeah, I don't know what they were seeing, your pores, or I don't know what they were seeing, but they wanted to see everything very closely. So I said, love to hear with this, and then he took it inside, and Pramod Chakravarti Saab saw it, and then I was called inside, and man, to my surprise, he gave me my first check. He signed me for 3 films immediately, not anything, not
Just looking at your face, just looking at the picture.
nothing. He gave me a check of 5,000 rupees. First film was 50,000 rupees I signed. Second film, it was written 1 lakh rupee. Third film was 1.5 lakh.
Wow.
So, and the check, the time he gave me the check was 6 o'clock in the evening. So, it's actually the fact that whatever happens for good.
That's exactly the time you were taking a flight out. Right?
I always think, I mean, say, it would have been a disaster if I would have gone to Bangalore. Then today I will be a retired model somewhere.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.